look, it's all about forgiveness, right? That was a big question that hit the Mushoku Tensei watch through. Is forgiveness a thing? Or, sorry, is forgiveness a thing? Is redemption a thing? Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with another episode of Durarara. Thank you once again, Master Detective, for sponsoring this. Oh, the antithesis to Lessons, Master Detective. Anyway, watch our other reactions to know that story. First off, though, we have some comments. First off, from Master Detective themselves, from the Patreon, from episode Storm and Stress. Lots of thoughts. Curious how Lessons would feel if he had started the show from the beginning. Mikado is our main protagonist and is perhaps the person he'd get behind. Inherently, this show is an ensemble, cast story where each character is the protagonist of their own story, so perhaps it's incongruent with his preference for one strong central character carrying the story. Also, earlier in the season, it's more episodic in nature, which I think helps warm up the audience to the characters, and where most viewers find one or two that they are particularly interested in. Kinda doesn't know much about the dollars because Mikado didn't found it with him. This episode perhaps drops the biggest reveal of the first half of the season, that Mikado actually founded the dollars. It's pretty rewarding to watch a lot of earlier scenes in the show with this context. Perhaps the takeaway is that you can never be sure what the characters in the show have been up to in the background. I'd encourage you to keep your minds open to what other characters could be, that other characters could be more than meets the eye.
Yeah, but the impression I got is that he sort of created the dollars as a lark, and then it got away from him. It's like, oh, this thing I created blew up, basically.
I disagree. I mean, it took a life of its own, but he still focused it. Like, he's the one that told them, hey, people think these gangs are bad, and they're always doing negative things, but what if we were a gang for good, and they could do positive stuff? And then he, mentioned, cleaning up graffiti, and then you saw him watch the news about how hard it would have been for, one person to have cleaned up the graffiti on this wall in this place.
Yeah.
And the dollars take credit for it and everything, so... He's not the direct leader, but I mean he is, but he's not I'm the face of it. He's just the administrator of the website that responds every so often. It's implied that he took control over the people saying that they had found Celti, and he responded to them as the administrator saying, give me information, and that's how he came in contact with Celti. So
okay.
The random shit that it feels like he has done or wandered into seems like he has been gathering the information to do so in the background.
I mean, the question is what he does with that ability now, because essentially, yes, he can flash mob anybody, like he did with.
Well, yeah, because the information on the phone was literally, "Don't do anything violent. Just stare menacingly at everyone who's not looking at their phone right now." So I get he could incite violence, but not everyone here is here for violence. A bunch of old people, a bunch of young people.
A bunch of people who just were interested in the concept of the dollars. Sure, I'll join up, right? I think we were talking a lot about, who the gray people were. And now with this reveal and the fact that we said that Mikado was a shut-in, I think the overall message is one of, that isolation wasn't just him being isolated. It's that we all want to belong to something, right? And that's why everybody joined the dollars, right? And everybody wants to affect change in the world they live in, but they don't know how. And being members of the dollars allows them to do that, right? I wouldn't just stop to clean up graffiti, but me and 5 people show up and say, oh, we're all part of the dollars and let's do this. Then it gets done, right?
I don't know if I agree with you on the everyone wants to change the world bit, but I'll agree with you on the everyone wants to belong bit. I mean, they might not be doing it because they want to change the world. They might just be doing it because they want to be in a group that
Oh, they want
accepts them.
to change the world is maybe too extreme. Maybe it's affect the world, have an impact on the world, right?
Again, though, I
Like,
don't know if that's true or not. I don't
mm,
see anything here that tells me that everyone is about that. It could, again, most people are just like, I wanted to be part of something. Because
yeah,
remember, we
yeah,
got all those like little interview segments of, hey, why are you here? And it's like salaryman or a bunch of teenage girls, and so like they're all just we wanted to be part of something, and why
yeah,
not
yeah.
this thing?
Mm. But also the fact that they we were discussing are the great people, just a budget saving situation happens in most anime, like you don't show their faces, you don't show eyes, or was it a specific meaning? And it's like it also seems to be. I hate to use this word, so I'm going to use the verb. They are awakened to their reality, right? Like what's happening. Once they make these connections, they'd be a little more aware, right? And so they kind of become not main. I guess they become kind of main characters because now there's a focus on them, even if it's momentarily, right?
I
Like
don't know if
before that, they
they're
were just background people. They were just there, but now they've become part of something. They have some level of importance.
see. I don't know if they're awakened or anything like that. I mean, I'll say that they're not background characters. That might be the
Yeah.
definition because they don't really have an effect on anything other than they're important now. Like, I mean, all they did was become a threat to one person in the moment.
I mean, true.
Because
But the
otherwise, I
fact
don't
that
know what being in color meant for anybody else while they were in color. Like the Russian tourists,
yeah,
they were in
I mean,
color and they walked up and talked to Simon about where to do a thing, and I don't think they were
yeah, but
dollars.
I think the Russian tourists are important. It's interesting because they stand out. It's these people who stand out. I think it's the
I
reason
mean,
why
that
you
could
keep them
be
in
it.
color.
Anyone who
You know,
stands out could be in color, and
yeah,
being
because they're
finding yourself
people
to be a
who
member
are
of dollars, you stand out now.
yeah, they're foreigners in this country, right? So they don't really fit in. So they're in color, right? Where everyone else in the background is just going about their business, going to school, working jobs, just.
Everybody at school is in color, though. So
Mm.
that kind of defeats your analogy there. But I would just assume that maybe everyone at school is somebody who's found themselves to be the main character of their own story, sort of
I
situation.
guess, I guess so.
Again,
I mean,
it's the elements of the incongruities that have defeated our attempts to explain the gray characters versus the color characters. Remember, old man teacher, like 90-year-old man teacher, is in color. Russian tourists are in color. These people that are like, what's the connecting fiber here? But if we get to like a metaphysical thing of who considers themselves the main character of their own lives, turns out 90-year-old teacher used to be Mr. Miyagi back in World War II, and he was his own main character for a long time. Now he's just kind of teaching the next generation. Turns out the Russian tourists are like girls' last tour. They're doing their own thing there too. It's like maybe if we got to go metaphysical on this, maybe there's a connecting fiber that's not like inherent, like one thing.
yeah, yeah.
All right, next comment. Francisco Osuna from Storm and Stress. I really hope you guys don't give up with Durarara. It is my favorite anime of all time. I don't know if I can say that it is too complicated or hard to understand or can be slow sometimes, but is worthy to me to wait for the resolutions. For me, is like the most perfect anime I ever watch. Best plot twists, best openings, best soundtrack, only competition with Lupin the Third, and is obviously the soundtrack style is inspired by Lupin the Third. You can't watch the references in one episode of the show. Best voice acting, best female character, Celty, best mysteries, if you're into solving mysteries, best script, best character designing, etc., etc. I enjoy to hear the theories and predictions because Durarara always has surprises. For example, Makito, being the founder of the dollars is one of the first big plot twists that none of you could predict. I didn't predict too. And I can't make a donation right now. Sorry. And there's a lot of psychology and deep thoughts on the main characters. I can't make a donation right now, but I'll try as soon as possible. The channel in general is amazing.
Cool.
Chef,
Thank
yes.
you. Yes. Donate if you can. Enjoy if you must.
Enjoy if you can. Donate if you must.
No. I mean, why force it? I mean, there's a donation. So
I don't know. Why not say everything backwards? Well, I don't know. Saying you must enjoy, but donate if you can is also weird. So why not force them to donate and then enjoy it if they can?
Give us money and everything else important is unimportant.
Yeah, like a paid cable service.
Ouch.
Nothing else though? No,
that's it.
Nothing to say about the soundtrack stuff? You're the sound guy typically.
I do like the intro. It's okay. It's of the moment. It's like, oh, you hear it. Oh, that's fine. And then, but it hasn't really stuck with me. Right. So it doesn't have that.
It was amazing from moment one. Even when me and Griff originally saw the first episode, we were both.
Yeah. When I see it, I get into it, but then it doesn't have that lasting effect. Like, wow, I have to hear this again. Right.
Well, to be fair, there's not a lot of openings or endings where I've been like, oh, I've got to hear this again. Like the only one that comes to my mind is maybe Red Birthmark from Witch from Mercury, like the season 2 ending song. That was just fucking amazing. It's one of the only anime endings that I did a complete breakdown for in a video. Like, I'm not saying I broke down. I mean, I did a breakdown of the lyrics and their meaning and how they represented the show.
Goddamn Sing Destiny, the
Impulse?
The intro, Impulse, right?
It might not be Impulse. I think Impulse was season 1, but you said that one of them... I think you said Impulse when it was a different one. Another I name. Ignite, maybe?
Yes, Ignite. It's not Impulse. Impulse is literally the Gundam. It's called Impulse.
Well, no, Impulse, I think it was a season 1 opening. I think it might be the first season, first opening. His name was Impulse.
No, Ignite is from Seed Destiny, not from... And some others as well. Like the theme, Macross Plus has a lot of stuff that I really like. The theme.
Macross 7.
Macross Frontier, which we're going to be... Well, by the time you see this, Actually, no, I think you're going to see this way before the ending of Macross Frontier. But once you get to the ending of Macross Frontier...
You're going to see this by either this week or next week.
Yeah,
we'll not be finished Macross 7 by the time you see this.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. I'm sorry, if we're talking to Silver Tier members on the Patreon, you'll have seen this sometime nearish to the end of Macross Frontier, the show, not the movies or the bonus content or the crossover thing. A lot of that incoming still. Yeah.
I really liked a lot of the music there, especially a particular one, which is a duet that they have, which becomes a theme song about the last third of the series. So, yeah.
I mean, the Macross Frontier soundtrack isn't bad. It just doesn't stick with me the same way that Macross 7 soundtrack does.
There you go. And Mac 7 didn't really stick with me. The only reason why it kind of stuck with me was because it was repetitive. Once the series was over, like, if you put the music on, I would, I know where that comes from, but it's not like...
Oh, I've listened to Light the Light maybe 20 times in a row. I love that song. That's what I'm saying. Different tastes of music. Like the ones that you like from Macross Plus, I don't even consider to be music. That's the differences in taste.
Which is interesting because supposedly Firebomber, the songs from 2 of the video games, which I also find I very like a lot, are from Firebomber, supposedly. I don't know if it's Firebomber English or...
I do not like Firebomber English because I've listened to them too, and it's not the same feel.
No. Or Firebomber.
Damn you, Kai-Fu.
I know that there's one song which is completely in English. I think it's from Macross VFX.
Well, if it's in complete English, it's probably Firebomber American.
Yeah, American. So I like that song. And then some other one which is, which actually has Firebomber in it. As Basara shows up for some reason. So I like that song. But the rest of them was like,
Again, taste in music. I grew up on classic rock, so most of Macross 7 is just me growing up. Versus I've never really been into electronica. And sometimes I feel like Macross Plus is on the outsides of electronica in that I don't recognize that I'm supposed to be hearing music. So, yeah. Again, there's a reason Macross Plus sits on the bottom of my Macross tier list. It just doesn't work for me in a lot of different ways. Oh, also, still looking forwards to watching Macross 2 because I
Yes.
like a lot of the Jamming Bird stuff that I've been hearing, but we didn't get to hear like the full thing because it's like
It does have some good music as well, which is I can barely remember. I have to go back and listen to it, but
well,
it's
I
actually
remember
pretty
everyone
good.
tells us the Jamming Bird stuff is
Mhm.
Macross 2,
Um,
but
yeah.
that's all played for laughs here because they start to sing. It's like, oh, that's real good, and then they start screaming because they're in the middle of the fight. It's like, ah, damn it! I can't wait till I get to hear the full song. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, Durarara, I like it. It was really good. I don't listen to your definition. I don't listen to it like on repeat or anything, but I've got it in my head, you know. Maybe not the lyrics because obviously it's in Japanese and I'm not going to remember a language I don't speak. But you know, that sort of thing. Anyway, that is the end of the comments. We of course have the board,
Oh,
which is I don't believe there's any changes here.
no, not really.
Actually, I think I may have just not made the changes I'm supposed to have made. Obviously, Mikado should have a connection to Nami, and I don't think, yeah, I don't have one. Yep, I just have not updated the board. That's on me. Apologies to everybody. Because obviously there should probably be a green line, not a green line, a red line from Mikado to Nami. Maybe a one from Celti to Nami?
I know that the episode ended with Celti and Mika meeting and deciding to
No, that
talk.
was before the end of the episode.
Oh,
They
okay.
they they talk. Well, basically, Celti asks Miko one question. I can't remember what it was. I think it was "What's your name?" or something. Because basically, she says she's Celti, and then Celti runs to the edge of the building, and then we cut
And
back to
leaves. Yeah.
well, no, then we come back to Mikado, and they're doing a thing down, and then we see her coming down the building on her motorcycle, which is then where she yells everyone on the street, and then does the whole scythe fight thing, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
basically how the episode ends.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think there's much else because Isaiah is down there apparently on his phone too, implying Isaiah is also a member of the Dollars.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think everybody on the board here is a member of the Dollars.
Except for Nami.
Well, yeah, except for maybe. Sorry, maybe I went too far with that. Nami, Shinjin. I don't know if Shinra was there. Also, the element that Shinra proposed to Celti, which apparently I missed at some point. Probably not the kidnappers.
No.
Probably not boyfriend or possibly ex-boyfriend who claimed to be a member of the Dollars. So any faux Dollars members, probably not a member of the Dollars. I don't know if Simon is a member of the Dollars. And if Simon's not a member of the Dollars, Dennis probably isn't a member of the Dollars. Saki, the girl in the hospital, probably. Head Celti probably isn't a member of the Dollars. Attack girl, stabbing people in alleyways, probably not a member of the Dollars. Her dad, probably not a member of the Dollars. Besides those people,
Everyone else.
oh, Painter might not be a member of the Dollars. Besides all of them, oh, Actor might not be a member of the Dollars. Oh, Nami's assistant, probably not a member of the Dollars.
No.
But besides all of those people,
Everyone else.
oh, Idol Star might not be a member of the Dollars. Obviously, she wasn't there on the street, but she might be doing Idol Star stuff. Any comments on the board?
So basically, half the people or less are actually members of the
No,
Dollars.
I would still say it's still the majority of the board. I'm just calling out random people. I would still say if you put this up, it's like still 3/4 of the board. That's probably Dollars. All right. Well, I actually have notes for this because I had written them last week before we decided to do 3 episodes of Mobile Suit Gundam in a row. Mikado's ploy really was a risk if you think about it. He basically called out what seems like the main villain from his perspective for a public and final showdown, and his master plan is to reveal the fact that he's the leader of the dollars. Except the way that the dollars works is completely at random to who would actually show up and take the action based on a text to their phone. It would be so easy to imagine a scenario where he sends his text and nothing happens because people are just into the idea of the dollars as this flash mob sort of thing, but don't want to participate in any gang-like aspect of it.
Sort of his faith in humanity kind of situation. It was like, oh, will people actually respond or am I screwed? I mean, if he's been doing this for years, on the other hand, he might have a good idea of how people respond, right? Already. So he might have done other things that led him to believe that people would show up.
I don't know, because the only example they showed us was the whole clean up a graffiti off of a wall thing.
Yeah. Could be other things.
I mean, like I said, I don't know that.
I mean, it was risky, and you look at his face, it's like, he was rolling the die, hoping he doesn't get snake eyes. It worked in his favor, but he wasn't that confident. It was like, well, I got myself in this situation, might as well just roll the die and see what happens.
Yeah, very much could have exploded in his face, or not exploded. He could have just gotten beaten down by 4 guards, security guards, or kidnapped.
And then killed.
Previously in the episode, Nami was like, well, she wasn't there. Well, who was there? I was the guy who owns the place was there. What'd you do with him? Well, we let him go. Well, next time you see him, just catch him. So they could have just captured him in, dark room, never seen again.
Unless they have another magical head waiting around and put it on his shoulders or something.
I don't know how I did, but I think I totally missed Shinra asking Celti to marry him across 2 different episodes.
Yeah, they were having this very heart-to-heart conversation. I don't know what she actually responded or not, though. But I know they were in the couch in his apartment. He's like, oh, I feel about you, this or that. We've known each other for years, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, oh, okay. I don't think she even responded.
Well, she does the text thing back and forth, but I don't remember anything either. It's like,
yeah.
Apparently it was a thing, though. She flashed back to it memory-wise, so... also, it's funny that the gray people stuff was literally the opposite of my theory. I said the people in color were probably the dollars, but then kept trying to wrap it around the outliers like the old school teacher or the foreign tourists, when it turned out that the gray people themselves were the dollars. Since they were background characters with no defining features, they couldn't stand out and be outliers. Until they exposed themselves as dollars, they were all essentially the same. So I guess I got it exactly wrong.
Happens sometimes. Well, we're still debating what the nature of the gray people is, even earlier in the episode, well, even before we started. So, yeah. There'll still be more revelations about that.
As the comment said, revelations all the way down.
Yeah.
So, 2 things regarding the dollars. First, the other people that helped start the dollars have vanished. A lot of implications in that. They could have just dropped the whole thing and moved on with their lives, or they could be dead, or even that they could be doing something else with the dollars that they don't want the other co-creators to know about, which leads me to, second, the dollars member count kept going up after Mikado said that they stopped giving out the password, implying that either other dollars members are growing the group themselves, or some third party is growing it for their own purpose. Or, as I said before, a former creator that's broken ties with the group has been doing more behind the scenes.
But all possible. The question is, what are the 2 questions? What are they doing and why?
Again, assuming that Mikado isn't a mastermind, because we never thought that he was.
Yeah.
That maybe the reason why people are so willing to do stuff is that there's other co-creators out there that are actively affecting stuff.
I think it would be more. I think it's because he started this when he was in middle school, right? That's what he said.
Hard to tell anime character age.
Yeah, but when he was in his hometown and apparently under isolation, so it might just well be that they were like, "Oh, this is the thing we did when we were kids," or middle school here is like junior high. So, like they were 12, 13, 14. It's like, yeah, that was fun for a while, but I moved on, kind of situation.
Yeah, like I said that they could have moved on with their lives, but the fact that they're unknowns. And a story like this, it feels like you're going to use an unknown rather than let it just be an unknown. Sorry, my nose is super itchy. So a note, Mikado put his phone down by his side after he sent the message. The message saying to glare at anyone without their phones up and out. This place is so crowded that the only people holding their phones that are visible are up near their faces. People ought to be glaring at Mikado as well, conceivably.
But I think he starts talking, so I guess they were like, "What's wrong with that guy?" The other people who were, because I think it's
she was
combination
talking
of,
too.
yeah,
Like they're her.
the other guy, yeah. So
I'm saying you're a member of this group, right? And you're like flash mobbing, and you recognize that you're flash mobbing because that's what everyone else is here doing. And you look at your phone, and your phone says, and you're close, you're sighted or whatever. You bring it up. It says, glare at anyone who's not currently staring at their phones. Well, there's these 4 guys in suits. There's that girl over there, and there's that guy who's staring at her too.
Yeah,
because that guy, he did have his phone up for a second, but then he put it down by his side, and the thing says whoever's not literally looking at their phone right now.
Yeah.
Also, the temporal nature of looking at their phone right now. Faster readers are putting their phones down.
Or just holding it up and looking,
Yeah, or people who are used to texting at their side are looking down at their phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a very good description. And again, the point was that the leader of the dollars should be getting glared at right now by the dollars. Let's see. Last note here. Also, Celty has been speaking via text all this time when she apparently could put her voice in people's heads. That's a new twist. Because she's shouting when she's coming down. Well, everyone looks around like they could.
I mean, it could be the motorcycle they're hearing. They hear a glare coming down as well.
I don't think I'd appreciate that, though.
What do you mean you don't appreciate that, though?
The element that makes it look like everyone can hear her talking, but they're just responding to a motorcycle sound.
Okay, if you're here and then
I understand the logic. I understand the logic. I'm just saying that they're implicitly making it seem like they're responding to her voice. Like this would be a huge character moment. So then to jerk that out and say this, we start this episode and everyone's like, where'd that fucking motorcycle come from? And then Celty's big moment is torn away from her by nobody actually having heard her. I wouldn't appreciate that.
I didn't think that they were hearing her at all. I mean, I think it was we as the audience were hearing it, and that was good enough for me. I didn't expect anyone else to hear her. So
I think they heard her, and I thought that was the big development, that she's gone into choking on something there. That she's gone into self-actualization mode. That she doesn't need to represent herself over a phone to like one person at a time. That she's like, I'm here, look at me and hear me.
Yeah. I go with the simple explanation.
Well, remember that the motorcycle is also technically a horse.
Yes.
So, I mean, to make whatever noise it wants to make. It doesn't have to be the sound of a motorcycle.
In fact, you hear horse noises when she's riding.
Right, I'm just saying, so there's no simple explanation. It's a magical horse ridden by a magical creature.
Without a head.
Well, it's a Doulahan, so. Alright, well, I guess if you don't have any thoughts...
No thoughts, head empty. Let's get into it.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
I mean, I also appreciate the element that they include a recap in the opening.
Yeah.
Granted, that lowers the replayability of the opening, unless you just listen to episode 1.
Yeah.
Because obviously episode 1 doesn't have a recap. But it means that you don't have to spend any time of the episode itself recapping. That also implies that they put, like, a recap that you can put to a beat. Or not a recap you can put to a beat, because the recap is just characters saying whatever they said during the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Also, of course, it's every character in the show. Or almost every character in the show. As always, this is me just trying to fill in because we have to talk over this, and I'm the only one willing to do so.
I gotta talk about it. Well,
yeah, exactly. What are you talking about?
mm-hmm.
That's the difficulty I find myself in.
Wasn't she the stalker? Oh yeah, they're doing. Yeah, that's a moment when everybody noticed what the heck was happening here. Yep, there you go. Secret about that. Hmm. Okay.
I still think that he hurt her.
I think somebody's about to get stabbed. That's what's happening.
Well, well, yeah, it's a crazy dude. Mm-hmm. The guy who literally stabbed his stalker to death. Mm-hmm. And then put Abdullah-Han's head on her body.
Everything's relative.
She can regenerate. She's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were about to stab me, so you're not super thankful. To be fair, I didn't say that she couldn't feel pain. She regenerates.
Yeah, dude, that explanation is just makes it more and more creepy. It's interesting that the two men that are her related Celti, head and body, have been living with her for a long time, have been obsessed with her.
I'd say Shinra has been living with her longer, even though you know this guy from I don't know. The head has been in a different place for a long time. It's hard to tell. I guess that's one way to think about pain.
Oh, he's straight violent and crazy, but he's a nice guy.
Sounds like a domestic violence survivor.
Yeah.
That's the body's name.
Yeah. Are you saying that they didn't replace the head and that's actually her? Really reminds me of Future Diary. That crazy girl from Future Diaries. Oh, wow. I mean, she's crazy.
I mean, to be fair, it's a lockpick gun, not a gun. I think we're still in Look, let's be fair here. Let's be fair here. One of these people killed the other one.
True. And she saw the head, and that's why she got killed.
I think it would be a twist, though, if that's still her and not Celti. Celti had somewhere else still. But it'd be weird explaining the neck scars, though, unless he strangles the hell out of her right now.
Oh.
Yeah, like I said, one of these people is worse than the other one.
Yeah.
Shinra. Shinra has been working with Nami the whole time.
Yeah.
So you've been faking the whole time. No wonder she ran off. She recognized the fake head.
私の名前を知っている者、私がデュラハンであることを知っている医者。
And now he's
you're-
gonna stab her.
Also, you're not gonna marry Shinra, I don't think. Not after this betrayal.
And he's gonna stab her.
I don't even know.
そんな。じゃあ俺は。まあ。
Hey, Isaiah, my boy.
偽物の区別すらつけられなかったわけで。あんたの愛はその程度ってことだね。ご苦労さん。
He can stab himself?
君が命をかけて彼女を取り返そうとしたことはすごいと思う。僕はハリマさんのことを誤解してました。
He still bashed her head against the wall to kill her.
And she still wants to be with him.
だって君は
This is
ヤギリ
fucked
君の
up.
ために命を張った。それは自分の身勝手な欲だけじゃできないことなんじゃないかな。殺されかけた相手をまだ好きってのはすごいと思うよ。いろんな意味で。
I feel like someone's gonna kill
That's not
themselves
amazing.
here.
No, no, that's not amazing, dude. That's not
He's
good.
trying to make the best out of a bad situation. It's a
Yeah,
stalker
no.
that... It's a stalker and the guy who thought killed him. Uh-oh.
どういうつもりだって言いたいんだろう。君は次にこう言いたいんだ。お前は知っていたんだな。私の首があの研究所にあることを。お前の親父もお前も最初から矢切製薬に協力してた。
I mean, we know your father's a bad guy.
私から首を奪ったのはお前の親父じゃないのか。それなのにお前は私にそれを隠し、死にかけた女の顔を勝手に切り刻んで。私も化け物だが、本当の意味で人を食らうお前こそが化け物だ。
Wow, Shinra, you're a lot worse than I thought you were.
誤解がないようにあらかじめ言っておくけど。
Oh, she is
親
speaking,
父が
and you
君
can
の
hear.
首を盗んだ犯人かどうかはわからないし。
You're talking about it. It's been him talking the
そ
whole
れから
time.
プチ整形は彼女が望んでやったことで、ヤギリの連中が誘導させたのかもしれないけど、そこまでは僕の知ったことじゃない。
Shinra just knows her so well, he's talking the whole conversation at himself.
かな？うん、わかるよ。君のことが20年も好きだったんだ。これぐらいのことはわかる。
何を今更。ならばなぜ今まで首のありかを黙っていたのだ。
君が好きだから。だからこそ。
He is responding to
A
her.
lot of this. Well, now she's talking, yeah.
君がどこかへ行ってしまう。それが僕には耐えられない。君の幸せのためなら諦めるとは言わないよ。
I guess this episode's just like a lot of different versions of love.
僕は決して
All of them
君を愛
bad.
しない。そのためなら他人の愛も。
What do you mean,
僕自身
stalker that nearly gets back killed, and then she goes into surgery to fool the guy who's stalking him, so they believes that it's someone else. This guy,
What did Shinra do wrong?
what do you mean Shinra did wrong?
So, yeah, you're about to say this guy. What did Shinra do wrong?
Lie to her about where the head was all the time. He knew where he was.
Yeah.
What do you mean? That.
So what?
What do you mean? What do you mean? So what? That's what she wants.
Why is it his job to tell her where her head is?
They're together under the
They're not
impetus that
actually
they use
together.
level.
She's just living with him, actually. That's all their
Yeah.
situation is. He loves her, though.
He does not love. That's possessiveness. That's different. He has a possession.
I don't think that's
If
the
he-
case, because he doesn't possess her in any way.
私の言うことを信じるか。
He just said that the reason why he kept the head hidden was that she could stick around for the last 20 years.
私も怖い。
He knew where the head was.
私は死ぬのが怖いんだ。私は今の私を殺
They did pull back blood when they stabbed her. That doesn't seem like the regeneration factor that she had before in the flashback.
Yeah.
そこに何の喜びも感動も存在しない。だけど、いや、だからこそ怖い。私の中に
This is
死を司
fucked
る核
up.
が存在してないんだ。私の首こそがその核なんだ。誰かが私の首を破壊する。すると今の私は
So where's the head now?
何の関係もなく。
Probably back in the lab?
お前は信じるか。眼球も脳みそもないこの私が悪夢を見るんだ。 その悪夢を見て恐怖に震える私を信じるか。それ
I'm
が
gonna
怖い
assume
か
your nightmares come
自分
from
で
wherever
自
the
分の
fuck
死を
your
解明
voice is
したく
coming
なか
from.
首を求め続けていたんだ。そう言ったらお前は信じるか。
言っただろ、僕は君しか信じない。まさにゴリ夢中だ。僕たちは推測の域を出ない考えで意地になっていたんだね。
バカみたいだな。
Dude, you're not.
なあ、シン
Why are you going along with it?
一発殴らせろ。
いいよ。じゃあこっちも一回殴らせてよ。
Huh?
He's gonna hurt himself. I'm probably not gonna do it. Oh, okay. Because we're just getting over it. Okay. This is a thing that we've done. Let's get over it and move on.
今のパンチは誓いの口づけの代わり。
Oh, please. Yeah, you're not gonna get married.
No, it's fine. That's how she always hits him.
泣いてるのかい？
Baka. Yeah. This is all messed up.
I mean, there's nothing he could have really done to get the head back from the pharmaceutical place. All he did was
Just
prevent
tell
her from doing something crazy.
Like, get her head back?
Or, you know, get herself restrained by the place that took her head in the first place.
ところでさ、
Again, just different ways of looking at it. I feel like you're looking at it in the worst way, and I'm trying to find a middle ground. Obviously not so much between the stalker and the murderer, but between Shinra and Celti, I think it's a little bit more manageable.
ドタチン、さっきの見た？黒バイクがさ。
いやいやいや、あれマジっすか？
I mean, you're the one who keeps calling my guy, insane psychopath, possibly an alien. Isaiah, my guy. Isaiah here. So,
Yeah. Yeah, he's. Yeah, the guy who wants people to take a dive from.
no, he just
buildings
lets
and
them do
watch
what they
it.
want to do. Now, if they want to kill themselves,
No,
gives
he
them the
encourages
opportunity.
them.
Yeah, he also
He
encourages
encourages.
them. He also sets them up to be saved. So,
No.
yeah, he
This
did
guy is
actually.
not.
He's the one who sets them up to get kidnapped and then sends the person out to save them, so that he can then put them on the ledge, and they can figure out through that night's experience what everything is worth to them.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's not.
I
That's
feel like you've
not
never
that-
watched an adventure movie before.
No, this is way too fucked up. This guy is an evil guy. You know, he's messing with people for his own entertainment.
You got
And
no
nothing to do with
choice but to
helping.
keep evolving. His own words right there.
That's not evolution. He's trapping his own self-satisfying nightmare and dragging everybody with him.
What are you talking about? He's talking to Mikado. He's not talking about himself.
君の組織だ。利用したいときは勝手にするといい。
Get out of this place. He's not allowed to be here, remember?
じゃあ頑張れよ。田中太郎くん。てめえマジだから。
As I was saying, we still don't know who you identify with most with this show, but you are sitting over that guy in the overlay.
I don't like him, and I'm not gonna identify with that idiot.
The guy who throws stuff?
Oh,
The guy who dressed up him.
あの少年
Sorry, you might not know
I can
who
see
identify.
why he wants to beat the what's his name?
You missed the
I wanna-
episode about his whole childhood, how he kept winding up in a hospital because he broke his own bones, lifting heavy objects and whatnot.
しかもあの黒バイクがなんか首がなくて壁を走って大釜を出して夏がブワーって感じで
No, I'm the guy over the guy you hate.
ちっともわからない。
Isaiah is my guy.
そして彼らにも
That guy's a psychopath.
Yeah, whatever you like.
I don't like him. That's why.
I know. You don't like a lot of people.
Because they're fucking insane. That's why.
Live with the life you got, man. Live with the life you got.
People can do better, or should.
I don't know, man. That feels like Hollywood elitist crap. You can always do better.
晩は待機してました。どうもです。今日は眠いんで早めに退散させてもらいます。
Apparently, you can also make out what the names are on these chats, and they'll identify characters for you. And it's like supposed to be big hints. I haven't figured this out at all. Goes by too fast, and the names aren't there.
Yeah, my knowledge of kanji is non-existent.
悪いね。
Apparently, one of them was hers this whole
嫌な
time.
仕事だよ。
問題ないよ。そして私の日常もいつもと同じだ。会いたくない人間に偶然出くわすのもまたいつもと変わらない。
吹っ切れたみたいだね。いや幽霊ってのはこそこそとして突然ドロンと出るから怖いのであって、あれだけ派手に登場したんだ。もうあんたを怖がる奴はいないさ。そういや結局誰も殺さなかったね。あのカマって何？切れないの？ひょっとしてあの女
And it goes right through people,
必
actually.
要だったらいつでも力になるよ。電話して。またね。
矢切奈美恵の行方は知らない。だがどうでもいい。私は私。
Assume she ran off with the fucking head.
いつも通りの日々。
Probably to Shinra's dad, wherever the fuck he is.
何も変わらない。だが、なんという充実感に満ち溢れていることか。私はここにいる。あなたはそこにいる。私があなたの。
Kind of feels like she's about to get hit by a car or something.
Yeah.
Normal anime fashion.
そして少年は考える。折原イザヤに言われたことを。ありえない現実に憧れる自分が果たして新しい現実に永遠を求めることができる。
Oh, they're coming back to school now.
そしてその永遠もまた日常になってしまうのだろうか。
悪かったな、いろいろと。
ありがとね。
These
Yeah,
things
sorry for
worked
trying
out.
to stop you. Did they?
Seems to me like they did.
私の席。あ、
Look, it's all about forgiveness, right? That was a big question that hit the Oshoku Tensei watch through. Is forgiveness a thing? Or, sorry, is forgiveness a thing? Is redemption
きっと
a
彼女は
thing?
以前のようにハリーと共に行動することはなくなるだろう。それがいいことなのか、彼女自身にしかわからないことだ。だが本当にそうか。
Oh yeah, because that's a friend that wanted
人の心などわからない
was searching for her, right?
Yeah, early on she mentions her friend that goes
Yeah.
missing, but she's also actually a stalker. Hey, gray person!
Yeah. There's a lot of great people.
Yeah,
here.
they didn't used to be gray.
自分には何でも
School used to be filled with colored people. That's a weird way to say that.
Yeah.
同じクラスの女子を遊びに誘うのがこれほど勇気のいることだと。
Oh, he wants to ask her out.
Well, she also used to have a thing for the stalker,
少年が少女を口説いているシ
stalker girl boyfriend.
あと35秒。
35 seconds.
Yeah, but he hits on every girl.
少年が少女にお茶を断られるまであと74秒。少年が少女に屋上での昼食を誘われるまであと78秒。少年が少女に恋をするまであと。少年が少女に告白するまであと。
That's not bad.
しかし、あんたもバカな
Also, the element of his friend is up to something nefarious and still haven't figured it out yet, though.
弟の歪んだ恋心のために全てを不意にしてと。
Yeah, he's playing multiple. Games at the
I can't
same
wait till he
time.
just doesn't know how to play board games. That's the answer to Isaiah.
Yeah.
むしろ弟への歪んだ恋心かな。でさ、やばいんじゃないの？ネブラと吸収合併でしょ？挙句にこんなの持ち出して
Nebula's apparently an American
マフィアとか
pharmaceutical corporation.
凄腕のスナイパーなんかがあんたの眉間をパーンと覆って清掃車？
ええ、いつもの回収みたいですね。
分かった。もしもし、なんかいろいろややこしくなっちゃってさ、今すぐその部屋出てくれる？
Ah, he's the reason why she wasn't there.
交渉同士の一騎打ちってルールできないもんかね。きっと君のおじさんも俺と同じだったんだと思うんだ。あの世を
Still think her uncle is Shinra's
誰より
dad.
も死を恐れ
Yeah.
誰よりも天国を渇望する。だけどね、俺も確信した。あの世はある。そういうことにしておこう。デュラハンっていうのは基本的に女性しかいないと言われているんだ。
I don't know who says
なんで
that.
かわかる？
いいえ、部下には神話を研究してたのもいたけど、私は無駄だと思ったから。
合理主義者なんだね。まあそれは置いといて。バルハラっていう天国、正確には違うんだが、北欧神話にはバルキリーっていう鎧をまとった女の天使がバルハラまで勇敢な戦士の魂を導くって話があるんだ。女性が死者を迎えに行く、どこかで聞いた話だと思わない。そのバルキリーたちが地上をさまよう姿こそデュラハンだっていう説がある。
But isn't she Irish? The Duhan?
Mhm.
So what's the connection? Oh, he has a head now.
死の後にバルハラというものが本当にあるのならば、俺はどうすればいい？俺が地域とかに活躍できるとも思えない。ならば
Oh, you're fast with a knife.
そうだろ俺はなんて幸運なんだろう。天国を信じず天国こういう生き方をしてきたこの俺がそれゆえに地上に落ちた死の天使に出会えるとはね。
そんな全部あなたの推測じゃない。
So it's Name or Selty the Fallen Angel?
それにこれは保険だって言ってるじゃないか。それが地獄だとしても苦しみしかないとしてもそこに俺が存在するなら構わない。
I don't think he's even human.
You keep saying that.
Yeah.
みんなで天国に行こうよ。これはダラーズの一員として俺が預かる東大元暮らし。まさかスルティも首が自分の所属する組織にあるなんて思わないだろうね。そうだあんたもダーズに入ればいい。俺たちの
Everyone's in the dollars, why not?
もっとも途中から人を集め始めたのは
Oh, yeah, I did say. Maybe he's a former leader.
俺たち羽ばたかせてやろうじゃないか。ねえ。
Well, I really feel like you hated this episode.
It's just that all the psychopaths came out of the woodwork and were like, oh yeah, we get a happy ending.
I guess it's mostly because you didn't get to see them all be normal from the beginning. So this is like a turn towards... Because remember, I remember that you weren't there. That guy first showed up. He just walked into the classroom and then apologized for never coming to school ever again, and then walked off. And that's like the first time we ever saw him. That was it was normal, but he didn't do anything fucking crazy. He looked normal. He said, I apologize for disturbing the class, but I won't be coming to school ever again. And then he left. And then what's her name? The girl Mikado likes, who's also the class rep with him, chased after him where it seemed like they had a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, very normal-ish stuff. Where the mystery was, why isn't he coming to school anymore? And that was it.
Yeah.
We could have just built our way up to what the fuck is going on. Look, I mean, things kind of make sense. Like, it's not great that the stalker was stalking him, and not great that he murdered his stalker, but to be fair, apparently he didn't murder his stalker. And...
He survived.
Hold on. Might be next time. I don't know.
Okay.
No clue.
Mafia? Yeah, wants to fight with her or something?
No clue. Anyway, so yeah, not great elements there, but the fact that she loves him unconditionally because she's a fucking stalker, and the element that was shown there that he couldn't tell the difference between the thing that he loved his entire childhood to now and this imposter kind of goes to show the depth of his actual love was. So he chose to love his stalker instead.
No, I think all these people need to go to the therapist. That's what's happening.
Well, that's the difference, though. This is an anime, and that would make things... I don't know. That would make things either more interesting or less interesting, depending on what kind of show you want to watch.
Yeah.
They're not saying it wouldn't be interesting to have an entire show about, like, take the crazy character from any show and have an entire episode about their therapy session. Because literally, I watched a guy, I can't remember the name. He doesn't do anime reviews anymore, but when he was watching anime, he would literally do, like, he's a therapist as a job. So he would actually do like a breakdown of how he would treat this person, the kind of I don't know what the words to use here are, but he would go through the different therapies. Like I don't know, there's one that's like not a therapy, but like a breakdown of psychological conditions where it's like an egg, and it's about all the things that you build up that you believe to be true as you're growing up in life based on experiences. See, it's been a long time since he's done anime, so I don't remember anything anymore. Now he's actually playing like Disco Elysium or something like that and doing the same thing there. I never played that game, so I don't know what it's about. I'm just not interested.
Oh, that doesn't seem like that my kind of game, but yeah.
Well, apparently it's very psychological.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I mean, there's a market for that, I'm sure. Like taking your stereotype of crazy characters from different shows and then sitting them down on a couch and then breaking them down from a psychological angle and trying to fix them. I'm sure somebody would be down for that because you could do a stereotype. There's tons of crazy character stereotypes.
Yeah.
I just don't have that big of a problem because one, they're not real people. And two, it's interesting to watch.
But I like to treat my fictional characters in the fiction like they're real people within the concept of the fiction, right? Otherwise, I'm not that invested.
Well, here's the thing, though. It's their unreality that makes them interesting. Because if they were real people, we'd be watching people like go to the bank. You know, it's like I think I've said this before. I think that was literally my argument about playing RPGs and whatnot. I want unrealistic stuff to happen. I want fun, adventure. If I wanted real life, I'd go to the bank. I don't remember. I just remember this was my argument before for something else. Like, this is fun. It's fun to see what crazy people do when let off the leash, right?
Yeah, that was interesting.
I can at least say that I never guessed that wasn't Celti's head, because from episode 1, that was my guess. That's Celti's head on somebody else's body. Because in episode 1, at the very end, he rounds a corner, runs into that girl. She's got the scar across her neck. I had guessed beforehand that the Black Rider thing was a Doulahan, apropos of nothing, but also because we had just watched 86, like a couple episodes of 86, and the Undertaker, his little symbol on his mech is a Doulahan. Well, it's a skeleton Doulahan, but literally the name had just come up. So it's like, it was apropos.
Yeah. No. We're going to see more episodes of Durarara and see what happens. The only thing I can expect is going to get crazier still.
I don't know. Next episode didn't actually look that crazy.
Oh, well, we usually saw flashes of it. We don't know.
Well, you're like, is that Mafia? It's like, in the world that we are now accustomed to in this show, the Mafia showing up is so low on the totem of crazy stuff happening. Like, remember that Isaiah, his kidnapping people, were kidnapping foreigners staying at a random hotel to then take them to the pharmaceutical company to get operated on or whatever. So we've already got like organized crime on a level above Mafia shit.
Yeah. Or it could be a rival company. I mean, they might be agents of the Americans coming in. And like,
they already said they're going to merge with Nebula, which is the other company. So I don't know what that Isaiah was saying that though. That whole you have a target on your head or something. Is Mafia going to show up and blow your brains out or something? Shouldn't you be worried? We didn't see her in the next episode, though, so I don't think it's anything to do with that. Like I said, that just seems like weird, normal gang shit, but with Celti riding around. So it's like, I don't know what's happening here, but it certainly doesn't seem like it's elevating the field of crazy. It seems like we've established what the new normal is. Now let's live in it for a little bit before we establish what the next crazy thing that's going to happen.
There you go.
Nothing else you want to rant about?
That's about it. I say what I had to say.
All right, well, once again, I have been Theta. This has been Lessons. We've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?